What Savannah Guthrie needs right now, what Nancy Guthrie needs right now, is the people of Arizona and beyond to stay on this case and story. The last thing the family needs is for the media to pack up its tents, because they will. Trust me, it never goes on forever. The last thing they need is for them to pack up their tents, put away their stick mics, close their podcasting equipment, and go home. Because it will be the public that drives tips in this case, leads in this case, pressure on the perpetrator eventually, and on law enforcement to stay on this. They've got a lot of cases to solve. They got a lot of even bigger cases, sadly, kidnappings, murders, rapes. That's crime in the United States, and they will not stay on this forever. And this is something that this twit reporter over at MSNBC needs to understand. I've never heard of this fucker before, but I'm going to play you this person's soundbite. This is the new MSNOW, and it's reporter Alex Tabbitt over the weekend. SOT 4.
What's also interesting about what happened Friday evening and Saturday morning is not just what we know, but also the number of false reports that came out over that time span. All of that speaks to an interesting and somewhat dystopian dynamic on the ground here, Jackie, and that is that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of members of the local, national, and international media here. But there are also hundreds of influencers. And in these moments of developments in this story, they will go live to their hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of viewers, and I will overhear them just say things that are not based in fact, things that are not based in reality or have been checked with the local authorities. See how some of these comments that are made without regard to the fact that a woman's life potentially hangs in the balance here, how those little comments snowball into this misinformation and disinformation.
Oh my God. Of all networks to be lecturing us on mis and disinformation, why don't you talk to your big boss, Rachel Maddow, and all the rest of the primetime lineup about Russia, Russia, Russia? You want to talk about falling down on the job? As he's speaking in the lower third on the channel, coming up next, exclusive interview with Doug Emhoff. What did you do the first time you had a big exclusive with Doug Emhoff? Why don't you ask Joe Scarborough? He didn't ask him about the allegations that he likes to beat women at all. Okay? So we're not going to be taking lessons from you, twit reporter, on how to handle a news story. And the nerve of this asshole to try to chide the influencers and the podcasters who are out there trying to cover this case into doing it more like MSNBC or not doing it at all. It's thanks to them that we have half the interest in this case. They're the ones who are following around law enforcement. Yes, and by the way, most of them have been extremely careful about not broadcasting these specific locations of the law enforcement operations when they're executing on these warrants, because they understand that could give a tip off to the bad guys. They're just looking for content and wanting to help solve this case. There are responsible reporters, I would include this show among them, who listen to these influencers all day and night and take from them what we think is valuable, discern what is appropriate to report, and make judgment calls on what we're going to broadcast to the audience. But they've been invaluable to us. And rather than dumping all over them because you think you have all the answers at MS Now, you might open up your eyes and ears and take a listen to what they're reporting. Interviewing neighbors, going to locations that the networks have not gone, following up on the locations where we've seen police activity to try to ask the people involved, what did law enforcement ask you? What did they say to you? And let me tell you, there's not a family in America with a missing loved one that wouldn't give their eye teeth to have this same influencer crew show up on their back door and get interested in their cases. How dare you try to discourage them? Attention is exactly what is needed in the case of any missing person. You have it all wrong. You're an idiot. And by the way, this guy, we looked him up. Just see what's his background. Like why does he think he's in such a position to lecture all the reporters on how this needs to be done? Well, here it is. He has previously freelanced for PBS. Oh, okay. So you couldn't even get hired by PBS in a real job? And not just PBS NewsHour, one property over there. And then there was his internship for CBS, but not even CBS News, CBS Interactive, whatever the hell that is. And then a stint with ARC Media, which I've never heard of, and I don't even know if it's a real thing. From his LinkedIn report, political reporter and documentary journalist. Really? What'd you do? I don't see anything. Writer, TV presenter. Are you from the UK? Because over here, we don't use that term. And social media producer. Oh, I see. So you managed somebody's X account or Instagram or did your own little reports on there. Who doesn't believe good journalism should be constrained by medium. Okay, I think you mean is doesn't believe in good journalism, period. That's my takeaway having watched you. New Yorker with Spanish and Lebanese heritage. Oh, it's important. That's what I listed in my bio too. Irish and Italian heritage, by the way, you should know. Mostly European. Okay, like who lists their heritage in their bio as a reporter? Then he writes, calm in chaotic breaking news environments and always hungry for a scoop. Well, that's clearly not the case, because if you were always hungry for a scoop, you would be listening to these on-the-ground, intrepid influencers who you so disdain and trying to figure out whether they might actually have something that you don't have. You don't have to take it all. I'm not backing everything they've done, but we listen all day to these people. We follow them on X, we follow them on YouTube, and we decide what rises to the level that it could make it on the Megyn Kelly Show. And we've cited many of them by name and have absolutely no qualms about doing it. We actually are seasoned reporters here, not just me, but my team as well, and know the difference between good reporting and bad, and don't consider ourselves above anybody. If you have good reporting and we can shore it up, it'll make it onto the MK Show. And if it turns out to be wrong, we'll correct that with our audience. But this is just another example of the elitists who are out there still thinking they're the gatekeepers in news and desperate to shame the new medium out of existence. Instead of saying, thank God that in a case of a missing person, you've got all of these people who, by the way, young people are almost exclusively following social media and podcasters. They're not watching MSNOW. You literally have to be over 75 years old to watch that, according to the numbers. So the odds are somebody young is going to be who knows this person on the porch. He's not 80. He seems to be probably in his 30s. How are we going to reach them? Through influencers, through YouTube, through social media. So in any event, it's just like, it's really stunning to me, the snobbery of someone who did an internship for CBS Interactive on what you can and cannot report and from whom you can and cannot get your news. Hashtag part of the problem, Alex. International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years, and a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.